Regular scheduled meeting of City Griffin Board of Commissioners, January 12, 2016. Tonight we're going to have several of our scouts from local troops, Troop 2 and Troop 4. They went through the Citizenship Community Merit Badge class on December 22nd. As part of their requirement is to be part of a meeting. So, gentlemen, if you'd please come forward and lead us in the pledge, and then I'll follow with the invocation. Please rise. Please join me in prayer. Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen. Thank you, gentlemen. Please be seated. First item of business is to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
Chairman, I do that we approve with the formal addition of item number 46 that I don't think got published, and I'll read item number 46. Consider approval to purchase two Freightliner Columbia 120 series trucks in the amount of $61,488 from Ryder Used Vehicle Sales for use at the transfer station. Approve the cash transfer from electric scrap metal sales account to solid waste operating account. Declare surplus two trucks, Unit 975, a 2002 International truck with 571,000 miles on it, and Unit 957, a 2003 Sterling 351 8T tractor with 366,000 miles, and amend the City of Griffin's fiscal year 2015-16 operating capital budget by appropriating $61,488 to transfer station capital outlay for vehicles and solid waste utility funds.
We have a motion by Mr. Morris, second by Ms. McCord. All in favor, signal by raising your hand. 7-0. Excellent. Next item of business is to elect chairperson for calendar year 2016. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Dick Morrow. Do we have a motion to close nominations? Ms. Ward with a motion to close nominations. We have a second. Mr. McCord. Any discussion? All in favor, signal by raise your hand. 7-0. Congratulations, Mr. Morrow.
Thank you.
Chairman, Mayor of the City of Griffin.
Everybody move one seat right here.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from here, and thank you, our fellow commissioners. Before we go to item 2, let me say a couple of words. I don't plan on making an inaugural speech, but I will say it's a great honor to be chosen as chair of this group in general and represent the city. It's a greater honor knowing these individual commissioners in this specific group. And I can tell you that in the last quite a few years, this group has worked together as a real team, and we've been through some very difficult decisions, most difficult economy, personnel issues and cutbacks, and it's interesting that even though we don't always agree, we get together and discuss it. And we have, for myself now, the oldest member here, down to Ms. Flowers, who's the youngest member. We have a wide range of ages and opinions and attitudes, but by talking it through, we come to a consensus. Not always unanimous, but what is heartwarming is the fact that this group, when the decision is made, everybody backs it. We stick together as a team, and I'm very proud of the people on this board. Now we have Mr. Brock with us. David, known David for many years. He's a fine gentleman. He's worked very hard at Citizen Government Academy and training, so I feel like he's up to speed and ready to become a very valued member of this team, and we appreciate having you with us. So I look forward to many more good years.
Thank you, sir. This is an esteemed team. I would
moving on, we'd like, go to item number 2, appointment of vice chair for the calendar year, and I'm going to choose Commissioner Rodney McCord as vice chair pro tem. McCord. I've always said that in case of any physical trouble, I'll be right behind Mr. McCord.
That's understandable.
Item number 3, we're going to recognize Chairperson Douglas S. Holberg for his service as mayor of the city of Griffin for calendar year 2015. And we're going from down front. If I can get the box open, we might honor you. If not, we won't. Come on. What's the tape? Got it? Oh, there we go. Very simple back there. Told you I'd be right behind you. Okay. Doug, you'll come down front and join me? Doug was here on the commission when I joined 10 years ago, and I learned a lot from him and enjoyed working with him over the years. He's done a fine job as our chairman and is a pleasure to work with. Doug is a true Christian gentleman. He's a great community supporter and Boy Scout leader in every way. He's just a fine gentleman, and is proud to have a little piece in this to honor you for what you've done. This is a small token of what you bring to the city of Griffin, so thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that. And I think he wants to get up.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We're getting there. All right, next order of business is to recognize Chris Allen, the Street Department, as the December 2015 Strongest Link Award recipient, and Dr. Keller will address. Good evening, Brad.
It's really great to be here this night. Chris has been here longer than I have, which is hard to believe. I've been here a while. Chris is always got a smile, even when he gets chewed out, right?
That's right.
He does a great job for the city. You ask him to do something, he's there. We get a snowstorm, he's there. We get floods, he's there. And he's one of our key players in the street department. And he's also our head, I guess, supervisor of the demolition team of all the substandard houses in Griffin. And I dare you to find anybody that can tear a house down faster than he can. Promise you that this is one of the things that they like to do. It's fun for them, I guess, other than laying asphalt and concrete, right? But I put him up for the nomination because he's been here a long time, and it's not just for December, but he's an individual that you can count on day in and day out, and he's a great employee and a personal friend of mine, and just want to say thanks for the selection of Chris being the strongest link for December. And you get a plaque, you get a gift card, and Aaron's passing the chain to you, brother.
There you go.
And you look pretty good in that. You know, you like jewelry anyways? There we go.
Let me say this. As a board, we've often talked about our employees and how proud we are. We're so happy to do this every month. You've got to give up that chain next month. But I put one on a birdhouse for you, so you've got the chain to keep from there on. So this is from our board. Thank you so strongest link employees. We are so proud of them. It's amazing what they do. All right, review the financials for November. Chief Officer Marcus Schwab. Good evening, Marcus.
Good evening, Mr. Morrow. Commissioners, what we have is cash balance report, and I'd like to ask a question at this point. Is this a report that's beneficial to everyone? Because I know in the past we've had comments about it's a very select bit of information. It's not comprehensive. It's just a list of all the cash that's available at a particular point in time. Is this a useful piece of information you'd like us to continue, or no?
I like to look at it just to see where we're at compared to the year
Okay.
before.
I also, I like to keep my eye on the money, and these are big piles of it, so I kind of track it from month to month.
Fair enough.
And this is my first time here, and I thank you for being here to do it. And we got an audience out here tonight that are citizens that pay the taxes on time every year, and they need to know what we're doing too.
Okay, fair enough. We will keep it. Okay. Any questions about the cash balance report
The good news is we have it. Thank you.
for now?
Yes.
And the local option sales tax report, any questions on that one? Obviously, we have no collections for the 16 for the lost side, but the SPLOST, but the local option sales tax is coming in as planned. Any questions on the interim statements by fund? Where this is for November, next month we'll be presenting December statements.
They pretty much track the budget in my view, so
Okay.
that's a good thing.
Nice and boring?
Nice
Yes.
and boring.
Yes, sir. Any questions? Okay. Anything else?
Anybody have anything else, Marcus?
Thank
Marcus, you've just lulled us by doing such a good job, and the numbers track where they're supposed to be, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
At this point, we reach the citizens' comments, and we read the statement we always make. This time, the chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. Chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. So having said all that, let's start on the left. Anyone on the left side like to come forward and say anything? How about the right side? Anybody have a comment they'd like to bring forward? All right, no news is good news, I guess. Going to our public hearing. Item number 6, we're going to receive comments regarding a request for a special use permit to expand a single-family dwelling in the HDRA zoning district located at 1026 West Poplar Street, submitted by Griffin Area Habitat for Humanity. Good evening, Mr. Kerr.
Good evening. Happy New Year, too. Haven't seen a lot of y'all. Yes, sir. Habitat for Humanity is looking to build an addition onto a structure at 1026 Poplar Street. The property is zoned HDRA right now, and in order to, with the addition, he will encroach into the setback. But with special use under HDRA guidelines, we're able to reduce those setbacks to 10 feet, and we bring that structure into conformity. So if we allow this, he'll be able to add the addition without any type of variances or anything of that nature. So staff and Planning and Zoning Board has recommended approval of this request.
Okay. Any of the commissioners have any questions, comments? This is a public hearing. Anyone else here like to make a comment on this issue? All right. If not, we'll move on to item number 7. Also in the public hearing, we're going to review comments regarding a request to rezone the property located at 898 East Solomon Street, consisting of 0.18 acres from medium density residential to neighborhood business district, submitted by 999 Grocery, LLC. And Director Kirk will address this one also.
Yes, sir. The property has been vacated for longer than a year, so of course it lost its grandfather status. So it's now zoned MDR, and what we recommended is to rezone the property to neighborhood business. which will allow the car wash that the applicant wants to put at that location. It's a less intensive land use for that location, so the Planning and Zoning Board and staff recommended approval of the request so that he could operate a business at that location.
I'll make a comment. This is part of the crazy zoning was done years and years ago where this area down by the track was made residential, and it encompasses Newton Crouch Manufacturing and the buildings across the street. And I thought this had been rezoned. The others all had been rezoned, the businesses to industrial, but this one evidently did not get it.
No, sir. We've got PCD on the right side of the road as you make the turn onto, I guess, what's that, Cersei maybe?
Yeah, right there at the tracks.
Right there where this location is. So we just recommended to do it in neighborhood business so we could allow him to do the car wash. There's an existing building there now with a bay, so it should fit well for what he wants to do.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Public hearing. Anyone in the audience have a comment on this issue? All right. Moving on to item 8. This received comments regarding a request to amend the Unified Development Code of the City of Griffin, Article 7, Table 7.3, zoning districts to allow temporary fireworks stand meeting the minimum requirements of NFPA 1124 to operate as a permitted use along specified commercial corridors in the planned commercial district.
Yes, sir. So this is part 2 of the fireworks law that was adopted by the state back in May of 2015. As of January 1, temporary fire stands are able to locate within the city. So what we've done is identify where they can locate. We've identified those areas as the commercial corridors, 1941 North Expressway and Highway 16, Taylor Street. So, at some point in time, you can have a tent, they could use a storefront to house temporary fireworks, and it has to be ran by a nonprofit organization as well.
For the benefit of those in the audience, the state legislature last year took the fireworks issue into their hands and took it out of anybody else's. They legalized sale of fireworks and told us we were going to do it or else, and this is part of the or else, I guess. We're going to do it.
Yes.
And there's been a great deal of displeasure around the state with some of the fireworks laws and shooting till 2 in the morning, and anybody in this board's interested in talking to the legislator, people are very unhappy about shooting fireworks till 2 in the morning. So.
I think there's already been a bill dropped yesterday or today. The first two days, they're already looking to revise that, so we look forward to that.
This is one of those hammers from above. We don't have much say. Anybody have a comments on this? Again, a public hearing. Anybody want to discuss this or comment? All right. Thank you very much. Move on to item 9. Consider approving the minutes of the December 8th workshop and regular monthly meeting minutes of the same date.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the workshop and the meeting.
We have a motion to approve both sets. Is there a second? Tolberg made the motion. Mr. McLemore made the second. Any additions or corrections? All in favor, please approve.
Is this the one,
Sir?
it's not the meeting, is this the one I had? This is the one, Commissioner Flowers, all those things out? Was I, is this the one I was missing?
I checked yours. Okay, I'm looking at the minutes right now. Okay. I didn't want to try to get ahead of me. All right.
You okay? All right, all in favor, please raise your hand. And abstaining, I guess, 801? 8? I served on the airport authority last night, it's 8. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, right? Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, David's abstained too. I got you. 502. Sorry, David.
Okay,
I just dismissed you down there.
I'll be more cautious next time.
All right. Regular agenda, item number 10. Consider approval of a request for a special use permit to expand a single-family dwelling in the HDRA zoning district located at 1026 West Poplar Street, submitted by Griffin Area Habitat for Humanity. How say you?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, please raise the hand. All right, how about 7-0, unanimous? Item number 11, consider request to rezone the property located 898 East Solomon Street consisting of .18 acres from medium-density residential to neighborhood business development district submitted by 999 Grocery.
So moved. Second.
McCord moved, Mr. Holberg seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Item number 12, consider approval of a request to amend the UDC of the City of Griffin, Article 7, Table 7.3, zoning districts to allow temporary fireworks stand meeting the minimum standards of NFPA 1124 to operate as permitted use along specified commercial corridors in the PCD. I'll say you.
Make motion to approve.
Mr. Holberg made the motion. Mr. McLemore seconded, I believe. Any discussion? All in favor? 7-0. Item number 13, consider first reading of an update to the City of Griffin sewer use ordinance. The ordinance has been updated to comply the City of Griffin's National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permits. Mr. Keller will address.
Every several years, we have to review the ordinance. This is reflecting our permits through 2018. Probably be back before you at the end of 2017 when they issue our new permit requirements. But this is basically a cleanup for the permitting process for our permits, and it usually has to do with our permits as far as industrial permitting is concerned.
Make a motion to approve.
Goldberg made a motion to approve. Is there a second? Mr. McLemore seconded. Discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. 7-0. Item number 14, consider approval of the negotiated bid and work contract section 319H fiscal year 14 grant element 12AZ Kelsey Avenue Ecosystem Restoration Project City of Griffin. There's a title for you. To McLeroy Incorporated in amount of $1,089,177 for the Stormwater Department of Public Works and Utilities. And again, Dr. Keller will address.
It's a federal grant that we received at 60/40, and it will also do a neighborhood improvement on 2 culverts up at AZ Kelsey School and clean up that ditch that's up there also, as well as input 2 BMPs in place up there. So we'll replace 2 old culverts that need to be replaced, and that's the magnitude of the project.
Will this run far north or south of Tinsley?
No.
So it's not this.
It's just right, it's right in front of the school, you know where the ball fields are, sir? It'll be right there. There's a culvert on the west side, there's a culvert on the east side. They get replaced, and then there'll be a dry pond and a wet pond and stream bank restoration.
Is the actual road part of 3rd Street, part of the project as well?
No.
Any other questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Holberg made a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. McCord seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. 7-0. Item number 15, consider the purchase of the SCADA system for the Flint River Pump Station in the amount of $110,804 from MR Systems for the Water Wastewater Department of Public Works. And again, Dr. Keller, this is a budget item in that project.
That's correct. What it basically will do is eliminate us having river pump operators. Everything will be controlled from the Harry Simmons treatment plant, and it's part of the Flint River upgrade. So we're bringing that facility into the 21st century, basically.
Questions? Goldberg made a motion to approve. Mr. McLemore seconded. Discussion. In favor? Hand. 7-0. Item 16, we're a third of the way through, folks. Consider consider approving the repair of distribution pump number 5 at Harry Simmons by Cole Technology, Inc., PMC, in amount of $22,757.91 for the Water Wastewater Department, Public Works.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, Mr. McCord, to approve. Second from Mr. McLemore. Discussion. All in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Can we move 46 up to, before we do appointments?
If you want to.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to make a motion for it.
Yeah, would you do that?
I make a motion that we move, item 46 up before we start making the appointments.
We have a motion to move 46 up now, then go and do it then before we start the appointments.
Second motion.
There's a second, Mr. Holberg. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, we'll move item number 46 up now, it goes in with the others. And it's a long-winded one I read, I'll do it again for the record. Consider approval to purchase 2 Freightliner Columbia 120 Series trucks in the amount of $61,488 from Ryder Used Vehicle Sales for use transfer station. Approve the cash transfer from electric scrap metal sales account to solid waste operating account. Declare surplus 2 trucks, Unit 975 and Unit 957, and amend the City of Griffin's fiscal year budget, operating capital budget by appropriating the $61,488 to transfer station capital outlay for vehicles and solid waste utility fund.
Make a motion to approve.
Ms. Ward made a motion to approve. Second. Did I hear a second or not?
Second.
All right, Ms. Brock, second. Discussion. All in favor? 7-0. Thank you. Good try. All right, we're on number 18, I believe. 17. Did I miss 17?
Yes, sir.
I did. Thank you. Consider resolution authorizing the 2016 mayor chairperson and renaming Kenny Smith city manager as the 2 approved signatories in relation to the MEAG City of Griffin Municipal Trust.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Holberg made a motion, and Mr. Brock, I believe, seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah. Who, is it normally the chairperson and Kenny, or, okay,
Yes, ma'am, that's what it's been historically.
okay.
Any other questions? All in favor, please raise your hand. 7-0. Okay, 17. 18. Turn the page. Number 19. 18. All right. Turn the page too quick. Thank you. Told you we were a team. Consider approval to allow MEAG Power to continue as in years past to make voluntary deposits of off-system energy sales into the City of Griffin flexible short-term portfolio and authorize chairperson city manager to complete election form for the same.
Make a motion approved.
Mr. Holberg and Mr. McLemore. Discussion. Any questions? All right. All in favor? Please raise a hand. Mr. Brock. Yes, sir. 7-0. Now can I go to 19? All right. Consider approval of the 2016 City of Griffin Board of Commissioners meeting schedule. Everybody happy with the schedule?
Make a motion approved.
Mr. Holberg moved to approve. Ms. Flowers seconded. Discussion. All in favor? Hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you. Number 20, appoint a voting delegate to the special membership meeting at GMA Mayor's Day Conference on Sunday, January 24th, 2016. I will not be there. Who will be there would like to do this?
Mr. McCord?
Are you going to be there?
You're going, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Mr. McCord to represent the City of Griffin, Mayor's Day.
We have a motion by Mr. Goldberg and a second by Ms. McLemore. Any discussion? All in
Yeah,
favor?
we got some, if someone else wants to do it, Cora.
Sure don't. I politely decline.
You had to think about it a while, though, didn't you? All in favor, please raise your hand. 21 through 28 are resolutions to approve, folks. And, so we don't need to go through the nomination and all that. If you move to approve the resolution, if you disagree with who the person is and vote no, if you get enough votes, you can make a resolution to appoint somebody else, so. And if one person wants to make these and someone second, trying to make it easy on poor Teresa over there. She's got to keep up with all this, right, Teresa? All right, 21. A resolution making an appointment to the office of judge in municipal court and approving compensation for said person.
Make a motion to approve resolution, William Johnson.
We have a motion to approve Judge Johnson. And a second, Mr. McLemore, Holberg McLemore. Any discussion? In favor, please stand. 7-0. Number 22. Consider a resolution to make appointment to the office of city attorney and approving compensation for said position.
Make a motion to approve, Mr. Whalen.
We have a motion and second, same two, for Mr. Whalen. You look a little nervous down there, Drew. All in favor, please raise your hand. All right. 23, consider resolution making appointment to the office municipal court solicitor and approving compensation for said position, presently held by Jessica O'Connor.
Motion to approve, Mr. O'Connor.
Motion second, same two. Any discussion? All in favor? Show of hands, please. Thank you. 7-0. That makes it legal. 24, consider resolution appointing assistant municipal court solicitor, approving compensation for said position, and we have Ms. Elizabeth Poole has been recommended for this position.
Make a motion to approve, Mr. Mayor.
Motion second, Ms. Poole. All in favor, please raise your hand. 7-0. Thank you. 25, consider a resolution making appointment to the office of municipal court clerk and approving compensation for said position, presently held by Ms. Yolanda Walker.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion second. All in favor, please raise your hand. 26, consider approval of employment contract between the Board of Commissioners and the City of Manager as per our session and evaluation on December 8th.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion second to approve. Discussion. Show of hands. In favor, please. 7-0.
Thank you,
Okay, Kenny,
thank you,
you can live indoors another year.
thank you.
27, consider a resolution making appointment to the office of municipal registrar approving compensation for said position, presently held by Teresa Watson.
Make a motion to approve, Teresa Watson.
Motion second. All in favor, please raise your hand. If you want to discuss, speak up. 28, consider resolution appointing Teresa Watson, Executive Secretary to the City Manager, as Assistant Secretary to the Commission.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Teresa, you got your work. All right. Items number 29 for a while will be nominations. We will make the nominations. When we run out of nominations, we'll have a motion to close nominations. If there are more nominated than there are positions, we will vote on them as they were nominated to select the final person. First one, number 29, is the Board of Health. I presently hold that. I'm happy to do it. If somebody really wants it and they want to say so, they can move there. But at the moment I've got it, but it's... They have me nominated.
Second.
Make a motion to close nominations.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. McCord and a second, Ms. Flowers, to close nominations. All in favor, please your hand. Okay, it's unanimous. And for the record, we don't need seconds on nominations, so you just... All right, I'll continue that for the present being. Number 30, appoint a commissioner of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Annual appointment as chairperson or chairperson's designee. I held that. David, would you like to be our liaison with the board on the board of directors of the chamber?
I would love to. I'll accept that.
Okay, so
Nominate.
let the record show that,
What's the point? Okay, okay.
Let the record show that I'm going to designate Commissioner Brock for that. Okay, and the meeting, the board is Thursday, the first one.
Right.
Okay. Item 31, appoint 3 members to the Griffin Environmental Council to 3-year terms. Let me say this, we have 3 coming off, Mr. Stover, Mr. Quinn, and Mr. Hutchison. One of those, Kate O'Quinn, has been put back in the nomination. The other 2 have not. In addition to Kate O'Quinn, we have Mr. Bob Rice, Ms. Wanda Moore, former city employee. Again, Ms. Kate O'Quinn. We have a Richard Cruz and a Tim Jones. There are 3 positions, 5 people, and we are blessed with 5 good people, so we have to pick 3.
I'd like to nominate Bob Rice, Wanda D. Moore, and Cato Quinn.
Bob Rice, Wanda Moore, and Cato Quinn. Okay. We have additional nominations. Seeing none, we'll have a motion to close nominations. Mr. McLemore made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Tolbert seconded. All in favor of closing the nomination, please raise your hand. It is 7-0. So Moore, Rice, and O'Quinn are the 3. And like I say, we have embarrassment of riches. We have 2 other good folks. Maybe we can put them to work in the future. Item number 32 is appointed commissioner of the Griffin Downtown Council. It's an annual appointment as a chairperson or chairperson's designee. So that's held by you, isn't it, Doug?
Held by me. If someone would like to get involved, I can step aside and take a spot as an at-large director or a business owner. It's a great opportunity.
Would we have another commissioner who'd like to be on the Downtown Council? No? How about you, Mr. Ward? All right, then I'm going to designate you to continue, Doug. Item number 33, appoint 2 members to the Griffin Spalding Airport Authority, 1 city appointment for a 6-year term to expire 12/31/21, and 1 commission appointment for the commissioner's term of office. I know Mr. Brock has expressed an interest to be on the Airport Authority. Any other commissions so interested?
I'd like to nominate David Brock
Okay.
as the commissioner appointee.
And before you go forward, let me continue here for the benefit of the audience. We have 3 others for the open seat. We have Mr. Barnes, Mr. Lavender, and Mr. Crossline. And for the record, the Airport Authority sent a letter over requesting Mr. Lavender be reappointed, but all 3 are eligible.
I'd like to nominate Brett Lavender.
All right, we have Mr. Brock nominated as commissioner and Mr. Lavender nominated. Are there other nominations?
Make a motion to close nominations.
We have a motion, Holberg and McLemore. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, David, we're going to put you to work at the airport.
Thank you.
Item number 34, appoint 2 members to the Griffin Spalding Development Authority, 1 citizen appointee for a 3-year term set to expire 12/31/18, and a commissioner chair designee appointed annually. That's the chair's position, and I will assume that as chair. So we have Mr. Amin and Mr. Jones are both in the book as nominees for the open seat.
Make a motion with this, decided to do that position.
We have a nomination of Mr. Amin. Are there other nominations?
Make a motion to close nominations.
We have a motion to close for Mr. Holberg. Second by Mr. McLemore. All in favor, please raise your hand. Mr. Amin, thought I saw him earlier. He's back at work. 35, appoint a commissioner of the Griffin Spalding E911 Board. This is an annual appointment. As chairperson or chairperson's designee. I'm going to designate Ms. Flowers. If they meet, you're there.
Yes.
All right. We need a young person on that.
Yes, I am a female.
All right, number 36. Appoint 1 member to the Griffin Spalding Hospital Authority for a 4-year term set to expire 12/31/19, and a commissioner liaison. Let's talk about the commissioner liaison. Mr. McCord has been our commissioner liaison.
I think Mr. Brock will be
prefer being our liaison with the hospital authority? Would you like that?
Am I overloading my,
How about you? Would you like to be commissioner?
No, I said Rodney needs to do it.
I'll do it.
My man.
Rodney just passed the tucker.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I'd
Then
like
we-
to nominate Al Oxford for, citizen appointment commissioner.
And did you nominate Mr. Brock? Was that what I heard?
Oh, yes, without doubt, yes. He's nominated.
We couldn't stick
I'm
Mr.
a
McCord
sucker
for
for
it.
it. Sucker for it.
Okay.
Make a motion to close nominations.
Motion to close, Mr. Holberg.
With Brock and, Oxford.
Oxford, yes. Who's second?
Uh,
Second, Mr. McLemore. All in favor, please raise your hand. All right. We're going to appoint one member to the Historic Preservation Committee for a 3-year term set to expire. Mr. Penny presently serves, and he is the only name in the book. He wants to be reappointed evidently.
Make a motion to nominate Mr. Penny.
Second.
Okay, we have a nomination, Mr. Penny.
make a motion to close nominations.
Cord made a motion to close. Second, Mr. McLemore. All in favor, please raise your hand. Mr. Penny, you can continue working there. I want to appoint 2 members to the Griffin Housing Authority, a 5-year term set to expire 12/31/20, and appoint a liaison commissioner. And Ms. Ward has been our liaison commissioner, done a fine job, and I'm going to nominate her. And now we have 2 nominations in the book for the other 2 members. There's a nomination as Mr. Hancock for the general member at large, and there's a page in the book for the citizen reappointed Ms. Pine. So those are 2 in the book, which matching the 2 seats.
Nominate Mr. Hancock and Ms. Pine.
Okay, so
Make a motion to close nominations.
Mr. Holberg made a motion to close. Mr. McLemore seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. So it works out easy when the people match the seats. Item number 39, appoint the Main Street Program 3 members for 3-year terms to expire 12/31/18. 1 local architect, building contractor, 1 business property owner, and 1 neighborhood district. According to what we have, this Ward, who's our commission liaison term, actually continues to the end of this year. So you're still on there. We don't have to reappoint you. And in the book, we have a nominee for Mr. Cropsey as the architect, Mr. Amin as the neighborhood district resident, and Ms. Collins is the business property owner. That's the only 3 in the book, matching the 3 openings.
Motion to, the nomination of those 3 individuals.
We have a nomination of those 3.
Second.
Make a motion to close nominations.
We have a motion to close. Second, Mr. McLemore. All in favor, please raise your hand. All right, unanimous. Number 40, appoint to the Pension Committee 2 members for 1-year terms to expire. In those seats are Connie Hendricks and David Weldon, and city manager and attorney. By position, they're automatically there, and staff recommends the reappointment of those 2 employees or former employees. So if we have a nomination for both of them.
Make a motion to nominate Connie Hendricks and David Weldon.
Make a motion.
Okay, Mr. McCord moved to close nominations, and Mr. McLemore seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. Good folks, back in the job. Item number 41, appoint the Planning and Zoning Board 3 district representatives, Districts 3, District 6, District 4, District 3. Mr. McLemore, who are you appointing?
Continuing with
David Castile. Okay. Mr. McCord, who are you appointing?
Mr. Gregory McLaren.
Mr. McLaren returning to his job. In District 4, Mr. Brock, who are you appointing?
Miss Joanne Todd.
I've heard of her.
You put that right here in this seat.
Okay, you get those 3, Teresa? All right. Appoint annual city commission liaison and city law enforcement representatives, Spalding County Collaborative Authority for Family and Children, and Ms. Ward has been holding this position. And on the law enforcement side, staff has recommended Lieutenant Curtis Keys be appointed. So, Ms. Ward, are you willing to continue serving?
If someone else would like to have it, I would love to give it to them.
You wanna give it to, Cora? Yeah.
Because Cora came here and she won't be able to meet. That's why I'm gonna email them for it. If they don't meet.
See, I have young children, so I think that Ryan can be.
I work out of town.
I think mine are younger.
Okay, somebody nominate someone, we're gonna get someone here.
I will nominate, Ward to continue in this role.
Backed by
Thank you,
popular
Ryan.
demand.
Thank you, Ryan.
And
And then citizen appointee,
I mean,
Law enforcement.
law
Curtis
enforcement
Keys.
is Lieutenant Curtis Keys.
Okay.
Make a motion to close nominations.
second.
Okay, Mr. Holberg, Mr. McCord, motion second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, backed by popular demand. Okay. Number 43, appoint one city commissioner to Three Rivers Board of Directors for a period of time to run concurrent with officials' term of elected office. Appointment is chairperson or chairperson's designee. Would somebody like to have the Three Rivers Board? If
I
not, it's
enjoy it.
mine. Huh?
I enjoy it unless someone.
I will designate Mr. Holberg. Thank you, sir.
Terms alone.
Appoint to Griffin Spalding Area Transportation Committee 2 at-large city members for annual terms to expire 12/31/16, as well as 2 city commissioners and ex-officio city members by position. We do not have to designate the fire chief, the police chief, and the city manager serve by position or someone they designate. Mr. Holberg and I have been serving on the Transportation Committee. I'm willing to continue. Assume Mr. Holberg is. Anybody else interested in Transportation Committee?
I'd like to nominate Michelle Cannon and Neil Bond as the citizen appointees.
All right, we have Bonds and Ms. Cannon, who are presently there, as nominated. Did somebody nominate myself, Mr. Holberg? Mr. McLemore nominated us again.
Make a motion to close nominations.
We have a motion to close. Second, Mr. McLemore. All in favor, please raise your hand. We'll go back to work on transportation. Item 45, appointing commission chairperson to Workforce Investment Council, elected official. I guess that is the chair's position. Unless somebody wants it, I'll designate them. Or do I have to
You
keep it?
gotta
I don't
have
think
it.
you can do it.
Yeah, that's yours.
Can't get out of there, huh?
It's gotta be you and you can't. You have
I
no
can't
vote.
weasel
You have
out of
no
it.
vote.
All right. Show me as the Workforce Investment Council chief elected official. 46 we've done. We're down to city manager comments.
I think that's the smoothest that's ever gone.
Oh, no.
It's not, it was smoother last year, I apologize.
Yeah.
Last year.
But I would like to thank Ms. Watson because she put a lot of effort into making sure that all our ducks were in a row to make sure that that went as smoothly as possible, so I wanna thank her for that.
She was very helpful.
MLK Parade, Monday at 3 o'clock. And if anybody needs a golf cart, if you will let us know, please. I have one reserved so far, so please let me know by tomorrow so I can get those from the golf course and have them ready for you.
Okay.
And city offices obviously will be closed on Monday for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. The city staff will be holding our goals workshop next Friday, January the 22nd. We'll be at the senior center all day working on our staff goals. And it will soon be time for the commission to set a date if you'd like to have an annual goals workshop. If you'll kind of be looking at your calendar, I know it's busy right now. We've got GMA Mayor's Day on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th in Atlanta. And we've got the Archway Intergovernmental Workshop on February 4th and 5th. So I assume you want to wait until after that, but if you'll look at your
I was
calendars.
kind of thinking about our second meeting in February when we have a workshop anyway. Does that sound reasonable?
That'll be the
Is that okay with everybody?
fourth Tuesday in February. We'll plan on all day long, and I will find us a
I don't know
suitable.
that date.
23rd.
I'll be 74 in one day as of then, so that'll be good.
I'll find us a suitable location, away from everything, and we will go ahead and make plans for that. And just one note, we talked about the legislature is in session, and you know, nothing is safe as long as they're in session. And I received a note today that the Georgia Department of Revenue has announced a reduction in the local share of TABT tax. It is going down from 45% to the locals to 40.55%. So we're losing another 5% in TABT tax, and GMA is working on that, but I think Department of Revenue has already instituted that, so I don't know how much we'll be able to combat it. And that's about all I have. Happy New Year.
What does that mean in dollar bills, Kenny?
5% of TABT, I'd have to look at the budget, but, Marcus is already gone. Yeah, let me see if I can find it in the financials right quick while y'all talk. If I can't, I will let you
Okay.
know a little bit later.
All right, Mr. Whalen, anything?
I don't have anything.
Mr. Goldberg?
Just want to thank my scouts for being here. These are our future leaders, these young people. They spent the entire day on the 22nd in class with me. We had Jim Smith came by and spoke with them, as well as Commissioner Raymond Ray, who toured City Hall, the museum, and they got to write a small report about something we talked about tonight that may have been controversial. Much of that was controversial. We're glad to have all y'all here, though, future leaders. It's good to see Commissioner Bayoff. He was meeting tonight.
Yes.
And, again, I just want to thank this board. I thought it was a great year from what we've been involved in passing the E-Splosh, the regular Splosh, to the Archway program, getting the Land Bank Authority kind of resolve the issues of the neighborhood stabilization. I think last year was a great year, and I appreciate the support of staff, this board, and this community. Look forward to a great year here.
They spent the day with you. Did they get a survival badge or anything?
We did that. Willard Survival was 2 weeks before that out in the woods.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I just found that figure for Commissioner Brock. We budgeted $533,000 for TABT for this fiscal year. So if we lose about 5% of that, $25,000 or so, something round figures.
We should buy more cars.
Okay,
Could be
Mr.
worse.
Mr. McNamara.
I do want to thank Doug for what I thought was a great year, and I felt like he did an excellent job representing the city and the citizens. I thought very well. And congratulations to Commissioner Moore and Commissioner Floyd. Look forward to a good productive year.
Thank you. Mr. Ford.
Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. First meeting of the year. Again, echo Brian's sentiment about Mr. Holberg and his leadership this past year, and look forward to working with Mr. Brock and working together as a team. And congratulations to you and being our team.
Thank you. Mr. Brock, anything?
Well, me being the key person on the block, I've got a lot to let settle in tonight, so I think I'm just gonna keep my comments to myself until the next meeting. Thank you.
Ms. Flowers, no comment.
I
Ford.
also would like to, thank you, Doug, for, what I felt like was a real productive year. I didn't have to threaten you at all. I look forward to this being also a very productive year.
Thank you. I have 3 things, list, but I do want to, again, thank the commissioners for giving me this job. I appreciate it very much. Some of you might know that Cindy Barton, our archivist, has been looking into the missing World War I soldiers off the monument. We have now brought that sort of temporary close. There's about a dozen soldiers who died in service during World War I. Those names are not on the World War I monument, and they're primarily African American, and we've discovered, we think, all of them. We're still looking. And the Military Affairs Committee today, we've raised money, this is the chamber, to put a new plaque on the World War II monument and add those missing World War I soldiers. And I think this is a tremendous moment in our community, and it fixes a problem that happened a long time ago before any of us are around. And so we look forward to Memorial Day unveiling the plaque. We're gonna announce the names here. I should have brought them tonight, I didn't. But we'll be looking for the families of these men here in town. If we can find them, we'd like to have them as guests next Memorial Day when we unveil their names on the plaque. And I think it'll be a wonderful day. So look forward to next Memorial Day. Number 2, the Archway Partnership rules of engagement are the mayor and the city manager. Mr. Holberg has been working on that. He loves doing it. So I assume there's no problem with me designating him as our Archway Partnership representative rather than myself, and you continue doing your excellent job. And third, if you haven't heard, the FAA gave us the nod to move ahead with the airport. 15 years, but it's coming, but it's not an unconditional approval, it's conditional approval for some move forward, but we have approval to buy the first 41 pieces of property, phase 1 so-called. The legal work, title work is being undertaken, it's partially done, followed quickly by the environmental and the appraisal work, and so within the next few weeks, the real estate team that's been hired, this company that does this, will be out there talking to those 41 folks and working to acquire the land. So the airport is moving and on track, and I'm very excited about that. This board's been very supportive of that economic development project. So that's all I have. Motion to adjourn is in order.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, thank you very much. Everybody in favor, please rise.
I like your